I just want to say before this video begins, I'm really sorry for the lack of uploads lately. I've been busy with. Actually, I've not. I haven't been busy with anything. I'm just insanely lazy. So, and I'm really sorry for that. So I'm gonna try and start uploading a lot more. And if you guys want more frequent updates from me, I have my own Twitter. I will link it in the description, and so you can go follow me. I talk about video games, anime, manga, and verses from time to time. So yeah, here we go. So Death Battle recently, recently ended their Kickstarter for all the for crowdfunding, and I just thought I'd give my thoughts and predictions on what I think could happen, and what I would like to see, and also what my thoughts on the matchups as well. I just want to take in. I also want to say thank you to everyone that have voted. That have donated, even a little bit, because it means a lot. It means a lot that this show is continuing. Even though back when I was younger, Death Battle was never really all that. Death Battle wasn't really all that important to me, but now I realize how Death Battle was pretty important to me. Even as a kid, holy crap! I'm 19. I think I started watching this back when I was 12. I think I don't remember. And yeah. So with that out of the way, I'm gonna be starting what I think of the matchups, and then after that I'll be talking about the rematch, and then what I think Luis and Torian is gonna animate. So yeah, let's get started. So first off, the matchup that I'm personally one of the most personally excited for. I mean, it's up there, but it's not like the one that I'd want to see the most. And it's Omn-Man versus Bardock. This matchup, it has me really, really excited. For starters, it brings back Omn-Man in a way that gives him an actual challenge, and Bardock is one of my friend's favorite characters ever. And from what I've seen from Dragon Ball, he genuinely seems like a really cool character. I don't really have much to say on the matchup, except for I hope Devil Artemis cooks really well with this fight, and it's eye candy. This matchup is also going to be having the first great ape in this fight, which I'm really hyped to see. And also it's actually pretty debatable. So yeah. And also, now's a good time to mention that this video is completely unscripted. So if you're wondering why I'm missing a lot of things, it's because it's unscripted. I'm pretty much just making this from no script. So yeah, sorry about that. And what I'd hope to see, I'm hoping from what I'd like to see, at the end of the fight. When Omni-Man dies, and also I do think Bardock wins. They confirmed that they're going to be giving Bardock super scaling, Dragon Ball super scaling, which sucks because I really like Omni-Man a lot more. He's in my top 50 favorite characters ever. But yeah, Omni-Man is gonna lose, and I'm hoping when he loses, his cape, Bardock grabs his cape and just uses it as a bandana. I mean, I know the bandana means a lot to Bardock. I don't know how. I haven't seen Dragon Ball yet, but I do plan on it at some point, and I'm hoping they do that. It'll probably be really cool to see. And yeah, I don't really have much else to say. So on to the next matchup. The next matchup, the one that I'm personally the most hyped for, I may have to double check again, but the one I'm most hyped for. It is, without a doubt, Eggman versus Bowser. Holy frick, finally! It's about damn time. First off, Eggman is easily one of my favorite villains ever. And Bowser, well, I'm not the biggest Mario fan. I really find him entertaining to watch. I like this. I love this matchup a lot. And it's one of my friend's most wanted matchups of all time. And actually, it's in a lot of my friends' top 10 most wanted. Even though it's nowhere near it, I still love this matchup to death. And I always wondered, why did they not do this sooner? And and, and this is an army fight, a hand drawn army fight. Holy crap! I was not expecting that. I am genuinely at a loss for words that they're doing an army fight for this. It's genuinely insane. I'd imagine Moro is gonna cook really well. I think he did Scooby-Doo versus Courage. I think I may be wrong on that. I may have to fact check that. I'll say I'll post a text right there if I'm wrong. But yeah, I digress. I'm hoping that with this being an army fight, there might be something missing from like the animation that I'd really like to see. But I'm really hoping that this fight gives both characters the respect they deserve, because this fight is close to like a lot is really near and dear to some of my friends, and seeing this matchup happen after like a really long time just makes my day for them. I'm really happy for them, and what I'd like to see, Eggman winning. Glory to the Eggman Empire. All right, and next up is Liam's favorite matchup: Light versus Columbo. I don't like this matchup. I've talked to my friends about this a lot. I don't like it. I felt every one of my friends don't like it, but I know Liam is gonna cook something special, and I hope after this maybe we get Light versus Walter. I don't know, man. A man can dream. Yeah, that's all I got for this matchup. After that is a matchup I don't really like all too much, mainly because I have preferred for both of those characters. But after seeing the preview and seeing fan reaction, I'm kind of hyped for it now. I'm talking about Kratos versus Asura. I like Dante for Kratos significantly more, and for Asura, I like Adam from Record of Ragnarok, because I'm a huge Record of Ragnarok fan, and that matchup probably could have happened if it weren't for Netflix. So yeah. I wanted to hold out hope for both of those matchups, but after seeing those happen on like the poll for like 2 or 3 years ago and my Tournament of Champions, my hope for that matchup quickly dwindled away. So yeah, it's probably not gonna happen. But in terms of this matchup, I recently finished Asura's Wrath, and I really liked it, and it kind of made me like this matchup a bit more. So yeah, I'm kind of excited for this matchup, but I still wanted some other matchup of those other two matchups. But I'd still like to say this matchup, it could still be really good. With like the 1 minute preview that they did, I'm expecting it being similar to like Omn-Man versus Homelander, where it focuses more on the characters more than the fight itself. But I'm hoping that is the case. But knowing Devil Artemis, the fight is probably going to be like at least 4 to maybe 5 minutes. Who knows? But yeah. But in terms of what I want to see, I kind of want to see Asura win, but I know for a fact Asura ain't gonna win because lore scaling, which I know of because I have researched a bit of God of War lore, and if you guys don't know, I do some power scaling for Devil May Cry. I'm not a versus debater, but I do power scaling. So yeah. But yeah, I know for a fact Kratos is gonna win, which sucks because I really love Asura. I really love Asura now. He's like my 8th favorite character. But yeah, and there's some of the researchers even like by lore scaling. So yeah, that's probably gonna happen. But yeah, and in terms of what else I would like to see, I kind of want to see like intense and like huge escalation of moments. Like Like God of War is not really like doesn't really have like a huge like huge like big set pieces like on the scale of like Asura's Wrath. So I'm hoping that happens. Like I'm hoping like maybe Asura like just like goes into like his huge planet, like his huge form that he gets at the end of the game, and just like punches Kratos, and Kratos it just does what Asura did in like the beginning of the game. I'm hoping something like that, but if not, I wouldn't be too mad because I'm pretty sure that's like a tall order. But I digress. So yeah, I'm kind of excited for this matchup, but I still wished it was Dante versus Kratos or Asura versus Adam. But I understand why they chose this over those two. So yeah, on to the next one. And up next, the surprise of this match Mahito from Jujutsu Kaisen versus Shigaraki. If you've seen my tier list for every single anime I've seen, you know I put My Hero Academia at the very bottom. I don't apologize because I do think it's probably the worst anime I've seen because it's generic as shit and boring. So yeah. But in this case, I actually really like Shigaraki as a character, and one of my big positives about My Hero Academia is that I do think the characters are pretty well written, and Shigaraki is a huge standout. So and Mahito, he's a huge piece of shit, and yeah. So what I think of this matchup, I think it's neat. And this matchup is probably can have like a lot of body horror, which is something I come to expect from both characters. With Mahito just absolutely, whenever he touches, just turns into dust or something like that, and Mahito just completely just effing up someone's face or something like that, and messing up someone's body and just turning them into a curse. Yeah. So yeah. I do think this matchup has like a lot of potential to be a good blend of like a horror atmosphere while being intense at some moments. So yeah, I'm pretty interested in see how this fight goes. But in terms of who I think wins, Shigaraki absolutely destroys Mahito in every conceivable way. Mahito has absolutely nothing to save him. So yeah, I'm expecting my Shigaraki to win. Yeah. Rest in peace, you little shit. I absolutely hate that. I hate that douchebag. So yeah, I'm expecting Shigaraki to pull home the win, and yeah, and I hope this this is a fun watch. Yeah, and. Yeah, I don't really got much else to say. But yeah. And all right. Yeah, next matchup. Aang versus Traveler. Don't care. Let's move on. All right, and after that is Ash versus Yugi Muto. I know some people who are pretty hyped for that. I know someone got their most wanted matchup. But yeah. The Ash vs Yugi Muto. I was never really a Pokemon guy or a Yu-Gi-Oh guy. I was always more into Beyblade. But yeah, I don't really have much to say on this matchup. I think it's cool, and I hope this opens up the pathway for Jinga Hagane versus Dan Kuso to happen because that is like my most wanted matchup, and I hope. Yeah, I don't know. And yeah, all right, let's move on since I got nothing else to say. And after that is Simone the Digger versus Kyle Rayner. To be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of this matchup, and I really don't care about it. Is what I would say if it weren't for the fact that if I mentioned that like to a few other servers I'm in Discord, I got harassed for like not liking it, which is honestly so freaking immature and literally so freaking annoying to deal with. So I'm probably not gonna watch it just for like that. Those my personal problems with that. And yeah, I'm I really don't care about it still, and I just wish I didn't have to deal with that. Maybe I'll watch it with my friends. I don't know, but as it stands right now, I just don't care about this matchup, and I'm probably not gonna watch it. Up next is Ruby versus Maka. I have not seen Ruby or Soul Eater, so I don't got anything else to say on that either. But I do know it was like the Ruby's Ruby. I know it was the creator of Ruby's most wanted matchup. And before he passed away, he asked that matchup in particular to happen. So I'm happy that it's happening now. And yeah, I do hope that I do hoping that is an enjoyable watch, and maybe it'll get me to watch Soul Eater. And I know that it connects the same universe as another anime that I'm gonna watch. Which, if you guys don't want to know, I'll put a timestamp right there. And I know it connects to like uh I know Soul Eater is like a sequel to like Fire Force, I think. I may be wrong on that. But yeah, but I am hoping that it's a fun watch. And yeah, that's about it. And then after that is the matchup I'm most excited for. Hulk versus Godzilla. Yeah. Hulk versus Godzilla. It first off, it's destruction, complete destruction. Like, who doesn't like that? And yeah, I am really excited for that, and I'm hoping that the size difference, the size difference is like pretty. The size difference is something that we haven't seen something on this scale before. Closest thing that really comes to mind was like Megatron versus Frieza, but that wasn't really that wasn't really fully realized. But yeah, I'm hoping that Hulk wins, but from what I hear, Godzilla probably wins. Which sucks. Hulk's gonna lose for a third time in a row. Yeah, damn. But yeah, I'm hoping that the animation goes insanely crazy, and I'm hoping that it goes completely bombastic and just that it's completely insane, just complete and utter destruction. And yeah, I'm hoping that they also recreate that one scene from like Asura's Wrath, from like in the beginning of the game where Asura was battling Wizen. If you know, you know. And yeah, I'm hoping that the animation for this fight is insanely awesome, and I'm hoping that Hulk gets a win, which he kind of needs it. And Godzilla showing back up is also really cool, and I'm hoping that we get to see more kaiju fights, like maybe Destoroyah versus Iris. Nemesis will be happy, and Deathwing versus Ghidorah, too. I'm hoping that they do that as well. And yeah, I don't really got much else to say on that besides I'm happy for someone who got their most wanted matchup. I'm happy for him. Up next is Gru versus Megamind. Let's freaking go. My I when I saw this on the goals, I really thought we weren't gonna make it, and which we didn't. But by some miracle, we did. I don't know how that happened. And yeah, but this is happening like 2 years down the road, which is going to be a hell of a long wait. And yeah, I'm really hoping that this matchup lives up to the hype, and it turns out to be good. I don't really know what I'm hoping for. I'm just hoping for like an army fight, and maybe Gru winning, but I know Gru ain't gonna win because that shitty TV show that Megamind got just gave him the buffs he needed. Why the frick did that happen? Why did that had to happen? Come on, man. But yeah, I am hoping I'm hoping this comes sooner, but I know it ain't. Then Gru vs Megamind cannot come any sooner, And yeah, I'm really hoping Gru wins, but I know he ain't. That's all I got to say. All right, and after that, let's go into the rematches. For the placeholders, it said it said Doom Guy versus Master Chief, Yang versus Tifa, and Ben 10 versus Green Lantern. Out of those three, I'm hoping Doomslayer wins, but those are just placeholder matchups. I know there's going to be more, but in terms of which ones I want, a close option is like Sephiroth versus Virgil, but I kind of grew past my hate for that, and I didn't even think it's like an enjoyable episode, even though I do wish Virgil won. But yeah, in terms of which one I hope wins, I'm hoping Spider-Man 2099 versus Batman Beyond wins. Like, I feel like this is an option that kind of gets thrown under the bus a bit more, but I do feel like that this is probably the one that everyone should be voting for. But I know for a fact what's gonna win. It's Shadow versus Mewtwo. I genuinely am not a fan of, because I don't want Shadow to have like a fourth run back, and I just feel it's unnecessary after that. But yeah, I'm hoping Batman Beyond versus Spider-Man 2099 does win, but I know it ain't gonna happen, because I do feel like that out of all the Marvel vs. DC matchups, this is like the most unique to me, and its potential wasn't fully realized. And and I also think that both these characters were also done a disservice to one another in the fight. The animation was genuinely just boring. The analyses were also just a snooze fest at worst, and boring. A snooze fest at worst, and terrible at best, and terrible at worst, and a snooze fest at best. Which honestly sucks, because Spider-Man 2099 at the time was my favorite Spider-Man, and Batman Beyond is like my favorite Batman iteration. So yeah, I'm hoping Batman Beyond versus Spider-Man 2099 does win, but as it stands right now, it probably ain't. All right, and after that is the Torian fight. The fight that's going to be done by Torian himself. If you don't know who he is, he's the one that practically was responsible for like a lot of the early 3D fights. One of my favorite being Wolverine versus Raiden. But yeah, I'm expecting Torian to do a Ruby versus Maka, because he's pretty good with weapons and stuff like that. But if not, then I'm hoping that it's like Omn-Man versus Lord Draken. That's like the one I'm hoping for. And another one actually is Nero versus Hellboy. I think that one's self-explanatory. Those are like the two that I'm hoping for, and the one I'm expecting is like Ruby versus Maka. But if not, and if one of the rematches, if a rematch that Torian animated happens, then maybe that one might be it. But as it stands now, as I already mentioned, Shadow vs. Mewtwo is probably going to happen. But yeah, I'm expecting Ruby vs. Maka to be animated by Torian. If not, Nero vs. Hellboy, or Omn-Man versus Lord Draken. And okay, and after that is Luis's hand drawn episode. To be honest, I have absolutely no freaking clue what it could be. Like, I have no clue what it is. I don't know. It could be Gru versus Megamind for all I know. I don't know. Like, I just don't know. I'm sorry. All right, and after that is the Ismahawk fight being done in live action. If you don't know, Ismahawk is like the live action guys that did fights for Daredevil versus Nightwing, and Red Hood versus the Winter Soldier. But yeah, I am Now, I'm expecting them to do another comic book fight. And as for which one I'd want, there's like two options I have. Two options I have in mind, and both of them just are Mike Marvel fights. First one being actually three. Actually, now that I think about it, three. First one is Taskmaster versus Deathstroke. The Taskmaster versus Deathstroke. Basically, basically like a street tier matchup. It would be perfect. It'd be perfect for this kind of fight, and plus it should balance out the disappointment that Taskmaster was in the MCU. And yeah, that's one option I'm expecting. Another option I'm expecting is Bullseye versus Deadshot, a gunfight. Yeah, how original. Yeah, that's I'm definitely expecting that out of all of them. This one I'm expecting the least, but I do think that it is on the team's radar, and I do think that it does have potential of happening. But out of the three options, I think this is the one that is like the least likely option. And plus, I do think that that bullets ricocheting and stuff, the bullets like ricocheting and stuff like that, is probably gonna be a little hard to do because both of them are just super accurate with their shots. And yeah, that's like the second one, and then the third and last one is the one I'm expecting. It's the Punisher versus Judge Dredd. I don't really have that big of a personal connection to Judge Dredd, but the Punisher, however, I recently I've been watching the Punisher lately, and it's really good so far. I just started season 2, and yeah, I kind of want to see like the Punisher on Death Battle. I do think that that's probably the option that I'm hoping that they do. Even though Billy Butcher is on the table, but that I don't like that option at all. I think it's just mid at best. But yeah, I'm expecting that. I'm expecting out of those three matchups, I'm expecting Punisher versus Judge Dredd. And yeah. That's what I think about this. Now it's time for some predictions. All right. In terms of predictions, we don't really have much to go off of with the matchups that aren't announced, but I do have a few ideas. The first one is, I feel like it's like a common choice. It's Senator Armstrong versus Funny Valentine. And with the presidential elections being this year, I do think that it's like a good time to do this matchup, even though Part 7 isn't like animated. But then again, who doesn't know? It's JoJo's manga is like popular, and you get spoiled a lot for that. So yeah, there's that. And another option I see is like another JoJo's matchup. Actually, I'm going to be listing out three JoJo options. I already listed out one. The second one being Kira versus Adachi. Yoshikage Kira versus Toru Adachi. I'm expecting that. And serial killer versus serial killer from the fourth installment of their entries. I'm also expecting that, but I do think that one's probably the least likely. But however, the one I do think is probably the most likely is unfortunately Giorno versus Joker. Oh boy, what do I say about this matchup that hasn't already been said? I mean, the crew did say that that this was the original idea for like season 9, I think. The one that had Jonathan versus Tanjiro. That was like the idea for like that season, but Demon Slayer got popular and they decided to do that one instead. So I do think it's a good time to do that. I think out of the three JoJo's matchups, I do think that one of them is likely, and I do think that it's Giorno versus Joker or Funny Valentine versus Senator Armstrong. Okay, moving away from JoJo's matchups, I'm expecting Captain America versus Kamen Rider Ichigo. I mean, the crew has shown a lot of interest in it, and even in like the reaction, the crew's reaction to like a Batman versus Captain America, he did say this was Cap's first run. And that was like weird because Captain America only had one episode as of the recording of this video. So I do think that Captain America versus Kamen Rider Ichigo is probably going to happen because of that wording alone. So yeah, there's that. And yeah. And another prediction I have is actually two other predictions I did have. It was like Nero versus Hellboy and Omazio versus Lord Draken. So there's that too. And I also think another prediction. I think it's like Catwoman versus Black Cat. All I can say is that I like both characters for obvious reasons. But yeah, and I think that's all of them. Wait. Okay, so I spent a little bit of time thinking, and and there are a few more predictions I have. First one, if you take a look at the preview for Eggman versus Bowser, you would see a TIE Fighter, which leads me to believe that another Star Wars matchup is happening. As for which one I think it is, what was the last Death Battle cast from and the timing of this video? Yeah, Palpatine versus Xehanort. That's my prediction for the next for one of the matchups. I can guarantee it right now. It's a Star Wars matchup 100%. It's a Star Wars matchup that involves the Empire in some way, shape, or form. And I think Palpatine versus Xehanort is probably the way to go. And another prediction, another one for the presidential elections. Not Senator. Fuhrer Bradley versus Solidus Snake. I like Full Metal Alchemist a lot, and team has expressed an interest in this matchup, and yeah, this matchup is really cool. I hope this happens as well. But I do think that probably out of the three American matchups, those are Senator Armstrong versus Funny Valentine, Captain America versus Kamen Rider Ichigo, and Fuhrer Bradley versus Solidus Snake. I think Fuhrer Bradley versus Solidus Snake is probably the most likely, but I can see it being Senator Armstrong versus Funny Valentine. But yeah. And as for another prediction, and another prediction. Oh wait, another prediction. This isn't a prediction. I just kind of want to see it happen. Black Clover matchup. Zenon versus Nucleora. I've just been addicted to Black Clover lately, and I just like to see it. No particular reason, but yeah. Okay, so that's the whole video. If you guys enjoyed it, press the like button and subscribe if you want. I don't care. And if you guys agree or disagree, let me know in the comments. I like reading your comments. So yeah, that's about it. See ya.